Hello everyone, my name is Chris Phelps and welcome back to my Florida All-State Etude series. Today we're going to be looking at the Middle School Technical Etude. It's out of the Advanced Rubank Method Book, Volume 1. It's on page 57 and it's number 28. Remember, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button at the top, the like button at the bottom, and remember to ring the bell so you get notifications of when I put new videos online. Let's get started. Now that we've listened to the etude, I'm going to go over the two parts that I believe would be the most challenging for you or your student. The first one being how to achieve those nice separated staccatos without having them being too cut off and short. The second part is how to add musicality to this excerpt when there's nothing really written. So for the first part, how to achieve these clear staccatos, I would take this in 3 steps. The first step is I would slur the entire excerpt. This is so we know the air is doing all the right stuff. The tongue can be added in later, but we're going to start practicing that right now. So in order to achieve those clear separated staccatos, we want to have short, fast bursts of air. And that short, fast burst of air is going to be coming from our stomach. So I want you to take your hand and I want you to put it on your stomach, and we're going to practice just doing short eighth notes with that those short bursts of air. It's going to sound like this. And if you notice, my hand down here is actually moving with every single eighth note. That's because it takes your core and your air pushing all the way from down here to make those staccatos work. Let's try that again. Once we have that, those short bursts of air sounding like that, now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to add the slurs. We're going to do it in rhythm to what is at the very beginning of the excerpt. So it's going to sound like this. And whenever you have those staccatos, you want to see your hand move. That is the most important part about this. Now, once we've done that a few times, now we add in the notes. And it's going to come out like this. What we don't want is super short cut-off notes. If you're using too much tongue, then the notes are going to sound like this, which is going to be kind of gross. That's too short. We're not getting any tone to each note if we do it that way. We want the energy to come from our air. The second part of this etude that could pose a challenge to you or your student is the fact that there's really no dynamics written. So we're going to have to create some on our own. I want you to take a look at the first measure to the end of the second line. If you notice, we steadily go up the range of the horn from this G to this G, which is in the last measure of the second line. Whenever we have a musical line that goes up like that, the general rule is that we want a crescendo to add excitement. So I want you to write in with your pencil, each measure is going to be a different dynamic. So the first measure is going to be pianissimo. And then the second measure is going to be piano. The third measure is going to be mezzo piano, and so on. So we get this tiered system going where we know we are increasing our dynamics. So it'll sound like this. And we're steadily increasing the sound. What we don't want to do is we do not want to go into that audition and play a really boring etude that's the same dynamic the whole time. That tells the judge that we are not musical, and we want them to think we're super, super musical. Now all we have to figure out is the second half of the excerpt. Look at the third line, the first measure. We start on this high G, and by the end of the excerpt, we are on the low G. So we're going to take the same concept that we talked about for the first two lines, and we're going to reverse it. Since we're going down the range of the horn from that high G to the low G, we're going to decrescendo the whole time. So we're going to start out like this. And so forth. I want you to write in those dynamics, that every single measure we are slowly decreasing those dynamics. And I really want you to exaggerate them so that on that recording, the judge will be able to hear it. And that's all I have for you today. Those are the two most challenging parts of this excerpt. If you liked this video or it helped you out, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button at the top, hit the like button at the bottom. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, or if you have etudes that you want to hear, feel free to comment those as well. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.